1 in 4 German households have no savings at all, not even 100 euros. That means millions of people are just one unexpected bill away from serious financial trouble. The good news, getting your finances in order isn't about how much money you have, it's about what you do with it. In this video, I'll show you exactly what to do at every stage, whether you have 0 euro, 10,000 euro or even 100,000 euros, so you can build real financial security, step by step. Let's start at the very beginning before we talk about the big bucks. What if you're in debt and your net worth is actually negative? That's more common than you think, because 8% of German adults are over indebted. The good news is that this number has been falling for years, and if you follow these tips, you'll get out of debt too. And let's be honest, this is by far the hardest part of your journey from 0 euro to 100,000 euros. So step 1, take a deep breath. Then list every single debt you have: credit cards, overdraft, buy now, pay later loans, everything. Seeing the full picture is the first step of fixing it. Now, separate good debt from bad debt. A mortgage, good debt. High interest consumer loans, bad debt. So you pay that off first. Next, cut costs hard. Review your subscriptions, mobile plan, insurance. Cancel what you don't need or switch to a cheaper provider. And the part that really moves the needle, increase your income. Sell unused stuff, freelance, dog sit, start a side hustle. Cutting costs has a limit, but income can be unlimited, potentially. And celebrate small wins. Every payment you make is the right step forward. And soon enough, you're no longer in debt, but you also don't have that much saved yet. Here's some perspective. A net worth of 800 euro puts you in the bottom 10% of adults in Germany. That's a start, but now it's time to level up. Your top priority at this stage? Build your emergency fund. That's your financial airbag to cover unexpected expenses without falling back into debt. Here's a simple rule of thumb for you. 2 to 3 months of expenses if you're single, 4 to 6 months if you have a family, and even more if you're self-employed. Now, where do you keep this money so you don't accidentally spend it? Park it in a high-yield savings account with a solid interest rate. You can use our best savings account in Europe calculator to find the top options. The link is below. And once that's done, set up an automated order that transfers money right after every payday. Even if it's just 20 euros. Do it, because consistency builds habits, and habits build wealth. And once that emergency fund is full, you're ready for the next big move: investing. This is where most people freeze because they think, I don't have enough money to invest yet. But the truth is, a couple of €1,000 isn't too little, it's the perfect amount to get started. Your mindset now shifts from saving money to growing money. And no, that doesn't mean that you need to pick stocks or time the market. Start with ETFs. Exchange traded funds. They let you invest in hundreds or even thousands of companies at once with just a few euros. So set up a monthly savings plan, automate it, and let time do the heavy lifting. But don't forget the tax side. Set up your Freistellungsauftrag to use your 1,000 euro tax-free allowance on capital gains. That helps you protect from the infamous Vorabpauschale tax. This tax applies if your ETFs did go up in value, even if you don't sell. And the big issue is that if you sell at a loss later, you don't get it back. Completely ridiculous, but don't get me started here. That's why some investors prefer their ETFs in a pension wrapper instead of a regular broker. If you're curious how that works, we made a full video on that. And if you're not sure what strategy fits your goals the best, book a free meeting with us. We'll help you build a plan that works for you. And the earlier you begin, the more time your money has to grow. Once your basic investments are up and running, the next big milestone is 100,000 euros in net worth. Statistically speaking, 100k puts you right at the national average in Germany. And that tells us something very important. The first 100k really is the hardest. Why? Because in the beginning, your savings are doing most of the work. not your investments yet. You're building habits, not profiting from compound growth just yet. But once you hit that 100K mark, your money starts working harder than you do. So how do you get there faster? For many people the answer is real estate. And no, I'm not talking about buying a villa to live in, I'm talking about investing in real estate. A small apartment in a solid city. That helps you build wealth in these 4 powerful ways. Leverage. You use the bank's money, not just your own. Cash flow. Rental income can cover your mortgage or even create a surplus. Maybe not in year 1, but over time it should. Appreciation. Property values tend to rise long term, if you bought the right property of course. And tax advantages, depreciation, interest write-offs, and 0 capital gains if you hold the property for 10 years. In fact, real estate is one of the very few legal ways to reduce your taxable income here in Germany. Think about it this way. It's just like with the ETFs and pensions we talked about earlier. If the government gives you legal ways to pay less taxes, why wouldn't you use them? And that's exactly why so many wealthy people invest in real estate. Not just for returns, but for tax efficiency. And the best part? You don't even need to be rich to start, you just need a plan. But if you're already in the 6-figure club with more than 100,000 euro in net worth, congratulations! That's a huge milestone. But now the game changes once again. At this level, you're no longer just growing your wealth, you're structuring it. Because now your investments do most of the work, not your savings. That's the power of compound interest. And the longer you stay invested, the faster your wealth accelerates. But with more money comes more responsibility. Let me know in the comments if you get that reference. And that's where diversification becomes the name of the game. Not just across asset classes, but across risk levels, liquidity, and tax treatments. Start with a solid foundation of broad ETFs. Build a portfolio and be smart with position sizing. Real estate becomes even more powerful now. With 100,000 euro in equity, you can make a serious down payment on a rental property or scale into a second one. Bonds might be great for stability and income, especially if you want to de-risk a part of your capital in your later stages in life. And precious metals like gold and silver can shine during market stress and can help hedge inflation and currency risk. With 100K net worth, you're not just investing, you're building a system, one that works for you while you sleep, travel, or focus on other things in life. And if you want help designing that system, based on your goals, risk profile, and timeline, book a free meeting with us right here. We'll help you protect what you've built and scale it with confidence to the next milestone. Thank you for watching until the very end und bis zum nächsten Mal.